It's 7 days to my birthday, and I've decided to take you on a 7 days journey as we share 7 main issues that are stopping inclusive education. 7 main barriers. Now today we'll be talking about the first, which is breaking down barriers. Let's break down barriers that are stopping children with disabilities from gaining access to schools near home. They do not have to travel long distances before they can access equitable education. What if more schools embrace inclusion? What are those things that are not allowing us to embrace the culture of inclusion and acceptance in schools? This is in focus. Accessibility in schools. How many schools can a child with disability attend? Just have a picture of a child who is on the wheelchair trying to gain access to a school near home. There's nothing wrong with the child. The child can hear, the child can write, but the child has a cerebral palsy that will not allow the child to walk. So the child is on the wheelchair. But on the way to school, there are many barriers. And even when the child gets to the school, there are no ramps, no structural accommodation. When there are no structures that can enable the child to move freely to the classes, there are barricades from the gate because the child cannot even move the wheelchair freely. How many of our schools are accessible? Now we're talking about a child with physical challenge. What about accessible restrooms? Do we have enough accessible restrooms? This issue of inclusion is actually very, very expensive, but we must be ready to shoulder these responsibilities in order to make learning accessible for this child. If it's not your child, it might be my child. Can we make our schools more accessible? Now let's talk about the deaf. We have many inclusive schools around now springing up. Yeah, I'm happy. But are they truly accessible? When it comes to communication for a child who is deaf, is the school accessible enough? Are learning made accessible to a child with intellectual disabilities? These are questions we should ask ourselves in order to make our inclusive schools truly a place where every child's learning needs are met. Another issue is inadequate lighting. Yes, our deaf learners are visual learners, and so they cannot learn in a dark place because they need to use the eyes to see what they are learning. Do we have enough instructional materials for these children? The deaf here with the eyes. How much effort are we making to make learning accessible to this one? So we need to start asking these questions and getting back to the drawing board to ensure that children with disabilities gain access to equitable education. Let's break down these barriers. Let's make learning accessible. I am Fumi Oguro, your favorite advocate of inclusive education.
Ẹ̀kọ́ dára púpọ̀, ẹ̀kọ́ ló láyé tàwa iṣẹ́. Ẹ̀kọ́ dára púpọ̀.